Uh-oh, my OBS broke. Oh, and there we are. Just a weird intro, guys. Sorry. Hello?
Hello, and welcome to the Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 197.
There's a bit of a... Are you hearing that echo on your end?
Yeah.
I wonder where the...
You'll be hearing this on January 3rd, Friday, January 3rd. We're recording this on Monday, December 30th.
30th?
30th. It's really, it's really hard to talk whenever you hear exactly what you're about to say. Or what you already said and hearing it again.
That echo is really bad. Because a new year, same us, because we're on Zoom.
Yeah, it's going to be the new norm here.
I guess maybe we should...
We should probably just we could get off Zoom.
I guess we can get off Zoom. It is kind of annoying. Let's try it without Zoom.
Okay.
Huh. Oh, there it is.
Hey, okay.
Hey, now we're rocking and rolling.
Going on.
Let's just pretend like we didn't just re-record that because I forgot to hit record on OBS.
Well,
let's just pretend like we didn't.
Now it seems almost too normal that these voices aren't echoing. We should go back to Zoom.
We should go back on Zoom, actually.
All right, so Carson, what we got on the docket today? What do we got on the docket today, Carson?
Well, first of all, let's just make a big deal about it. We're in person right now. That was just a bit. Sorry, it was probably really obnoxious, and I'm sure everybody listening at home was panicking.
Yeah, they were probably like, "What's wrong with my TV?
What's wrong with my television?" Because you're watching it on your TV. Because this is a television show.
This is a television show. Show.
We are back in person for a limited time only. We're
cooking up 2 episodes.
We're cooking up 2 episodes today. We got this one, and then we got another special little thing, a returning thing, but I'll keep that a secret until it comes out next week. But yes, folks, we are both together again. I am back home for the holidays. So is Gavin, technically. We're both kind of had like a homecoming.
Yeah. You
were gone for a month. I was gone for nearly 6 months. So a little bit. You decide which one's a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Not that it's competition, but I'm making it a competition.
It was 5 weeks for me, yeah.
It was 5 months for me.
Happy for you, dude.
But we're back. And it's fun. It's weird. We're back in the couch. We're back in the basement. It's a barren Trump wasteland down here.
This is what Trump's America has gotten us, by the way.
My parents moved out of this place. We just snuck back into it, though.
Because they have an open house upstairs right now.
Yeah, they actually are. You might hear some stomping and loud noises.
Yeah, they've made sure it looked all good and tasty.
But I have really bad OCD, so I have to have things stay the same way. So that's why we snuck back in here to record it again.
Yeah.
Could get kicked out at any moment now. But yes, folks, we are back together. And let's go over what we're talking about, because this is our first episode of the new year. We're not recording it in the new year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I guess we should have.
Happy freaking fucking New Year.
Happy motherfucking New Year. It's also been 2 weeks since we've recorded an episode.
I know. And I had a beard.
Very weird.
I had a full-on beard this morning.
I had a full-on beer this morning.
I had a full-on beer. I shaved it this morning.
Open that beer.
So we could have, I could have.
You could have filmed.
I could have filmed with it, but I was like, no.
We could have used that beard for content. You could have shaved half of your face.
Well, I didn't, so.
You could have done that Hitler mustache you've always been talking about doing.
Yeah. No, Charles Chaplin, dude.
Chaplin.
Yeah, Charles Chaplin. No one else did it like him.
That's true. Nobody's ever done it.
Everybody's got that. It's funny because whenever you go and get your mask fitted correctly for hospital wear, to avoid getting TB or something like that, if you walk in someone's room, they do recommend certain facial hairs. And they do have toothbrush.
Really?
Yeah, as a recommended one.
What the fuck? But nobody. Why would they recommend that?
I don't know. Well, because you can't have a full beard with a mask correctly. So.
But they're you can have Hitler.
Yeah. You can have something that is you have a goatee, a mustache. Okay. You can have, but they also do have toothbrush on there.
That's so weird.
Yeah, and also it doesn't show up well for me whenever I shave it because that's the lightest part of my face.
Yeah, I think same here. But there's so many greats that had that mustache. There's Adolf Hitler.
Yep.
Charles Chaplin. And then
Freddie Mercury.
No. Dee Dee Ramone. He was the drummer for Gigi Allen.
For the Ramones?
No, just Gigi Allen. Actually, he might have been in the Ramones. He was the younger Ramone brother, but he had that.
He had the little.
He had the douche.
He had the Harley Tappin.
He had the This week, folks, because it is the first of the year, but the end of the year for us, we have a lot of wrapping up to do. We're going to wrap up our penises and loincloth.
Yep, we got toilet paper on the ready.
We're going to wrap each other up for presents. There are presents that are wrapped, so technically there's a lot of wrapping going on. We have a quick little year in review. We're going to kind of revisit some of our favorite stories from the year that I pulled and see if there's any updates on it. If not, we'll kind of just review it, reminisce on this past year. A lot of great stories that came out this year.
It was a good year for stories.
Yeah, great year for stories. People are saying that. Many people.
A lot of people are saying.
Many people are saying that.
I don't really think that. Maybe there are a couple times where it was a lot.
It was a lot. Our future president got shot almost twice.
Yeah.
Almost.
Mr. Future President.
Mr. Future President is what you should call him.
Uh-huh. Not President-elect.
No. Mr. Future President.
President-elect.
I guess I have a clip of the week. I don't even remember what it is. We have some Carson Cinema Corner movies to talk about. New movies. Y2K and Nosferatu, which Gavin and I saw together last week.
Yeah.
And
did you wake up with like some spots on your chest too?
Bubba.
After watching Nosferatu?
I did.
Okay.
I did, but it turns out it was a hickey.
Oh.
Can't talk about that though. I don't kiss and tell. And then our big thing that we do every year for our wrap up that is very important to us for our What You Listening To segment. We have our separate top 5 albums of the year.
That's correct.
And that's a big deal. That's going to be our big segment.
Our big hit.
Our big hit. Everybody's waiting for it.
I think last year we had a lot of like not strange quote unquote, but like different people liking our post from that.
Yeah.
It was odd. I had never seen that many people who didn't really
Some people
interact.
from the band of my number one liked it. I remember.
It was very cool.
I always pick the little guys. I always like the smaller bands. That's kind of my go-to. We got Big Shot over here who likes all the
good bands.
Clario and
What's his face? Tyler.
Marshmallow.
I love Marshmallow.
Tyler Marshmallow.
Uh-huh.
He's a big deal. So we're excited about that. This is probably the most prep we've had for it. Because I spent the past week going
Oh, you've
over,
had the most prep for it. I've been keeping track of albums for the whole year.
Well, I started to, and then I kind of forgot. So then I had to go back retroactively this past week. And hope I didn't miss any. I don't think I did, though. So that'll be fun, and then that's the wrap-up. Let's get into some housekeeping right off the bat, though, because truly it is New Year, New Us.
Yeah.
Same us, because we'll be back on Zoom again after I head back to my coastal elitist home.
Yeah, his Malibu lakeside home.
My Malibu beach house where Barbie's waiting for me with her plastic extremities.
Yeah.
With no holes. Barbie has no holes. I learned that as a young man.
You know, there's this thing that I didn't know that people would say after people would get like C-sections.
Uh-huh.
They're like, put an extra stitch in there for me, would you, doc? Because it's supposed to be like, tighter. You got to make them tighter.
Oh.
And whenever someone said that, I was like, what the fuck?
And why would they want it tighter?
I don't know. That's a good question, Carson. I don't know.
They want the belly tighter? When they got the belly cut open?
Uh-huh. When they got their bellies cut open?
When the baby came out of the belly?
What do you mean tighter?
Why would they make the belly button tighter?
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's a good joke.
Yeah.
Hey, doc, you might put another stitch in there for me.
This is the most
My wife's a hoa.
Yeah. Probably one of the most misogynistic jokes I've ever heard.
Definitely is. But you do say that a lot.
But I say that a lot. I'm a woman hater.
Yeah, you go into the...
New Year, new me. I'm not going to be hating women nearly as much.
Okay. Not nearly as much.
Not nearly as much.
How do you feel about them in the workplace?
Now that's a difficult topic.
Okay.
I can't get into that.
Yeah, right.
There's too much politics with it.
You can't ask for everything, I guess.
Too many politics with that.
Too many politics.
Yeah, I
with women in
can't
the
do it.
Because I know whenever you see a woman, you're like, how do I date this person?
Yeah, how am I supposed to like approach this woman like as like a person and not like a romantic interest?
Right.
Yeah, every time.
That's a really hard.
It's a really hard problem for me. Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
And
we've had long conversations about this, folks.
We have recently, before we went and saw Nosferatu.
We talked about it. We talked about like who would probably give the best Nosferatu head.
Nosferatu or maybe Will Oldham when he played Dracula in,
Right.
Bram
Yeah,
Stoker's.
or Benedict Cumberbatch had.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So new year, new us because new little Saint Nick, because this is a big change, guys. This is a big announcement, and it could very well change again.
Who knows?
We are done. This is it. No, we are going to be changing our release date. So usually we release on Fridays, technically Thursday night. Now we are going to be releasing on Mondays, Monday mornings, roughly. And then we're going to be recording on Fridays, which is kind of is more beneficial to us, but also I think to the podcast, because right now what I've usually been doing is like the weekends I pick up some stories or things that I didn't throughout the week that we go over. But there's no new news that circulates on the weekends ever, like rarely ever. So it's a good, like you kind of explained it, that it's a good like week wrap up.
Yeah. Oh, a week in review.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that makes more sense. And then because this coming year, our schedules are going to get crazy, and I'm still trying to lock in mine, but which I'm excited to talk about more eventually, but I'm going to be producing quite a few more shows this coming year. So my weeks are going to be pretty full. So it just makes more sense for us to, and 1,000 other reasons for us to do it.
Right.
This way, but things could very well change again, and we could switch that up because we can do whatever the fuck we want, dude.
Yeah, it's our show.
Okay, bigwigs. Let me just make sure this is we're all. Are we on? I really like that one a lot.
I know.
Oh, Google Gemini. Anyway, yeah, that's the big deal, man. Releasing on Mondays now, so keep on the lookout for that. This episode will come out on Friday. The following episode that we're also recording today will come out on Monday of next week.
Yep.
So look forward to that. There'll be a fun little change for us and Gavin. And we do have a fun thing. Yeah, we have a fun thing next week. Gavin, I know it's not Christmas anymore, but I do have a little Christmas gift.
I didn't
for
get you a gift.
I don't care. You don't have to give me anything. Can you believe this guy? This thing has traveled a long way. I'll just say that.
It's a LA Beast.
Oh, shit.
Ah, fuck.
All right. Here we go. It's going to be one of these days, isn't it?
As long as I don't spill soda on my t-shirt, we're good.
Careful. Sorry. Careful. See on every cable imaginable. I got you a gift during my travels abroad. It's traveled quite the way. And you didn't have to give me anything. That's fine. I know it's not Christmas anymore, but it's enough like Christmas that you call it Christmas. Yeah, it's oh, there it is.
Whoa!
Hi-oh.
Oh, hell no!
We're going to Philadelphia. What was it?
We're flying to Philadelphia! Oh, hell no! That's hell no!
We're flying to Philadelphia. Why are they screaming?
yeah!
Why are they screaming about that?
I don't know.
So I got that during my travels abroad to Phoenix to visit your brother. It came from the Footprint Center. Is that the name of the Phoenix Suns stadium? Super weird.
I think that's what it's called, yeah.
We kept calling it the Foot Play Center. So I bought that. I'm hoping that's the one you would like.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Oh, it definitely is.
Because the way you gave me I was like, what if someone were to get you a hat? And you're like, well, it'd have to be this. It'd have to look like that. He's so picky, this guy. What do you buy for the guy that has everything?
I've got friends. I've got family. What more do I need?
Phoenix Suns hat.
Phoenix Suns hat. That's what.
But you're like purple, retro logo, 47 brand.
Yep.
I did everything I could. No, well, you just broke it. I don't know. It's probably fine. Just being a goose. Okay, but really, where is my president? You were being you didn't like. You're being serious. Oh, but really, where is my gift though? Is it over here?
I'll ship one to you. I got a good one coming.
Could have just bought it before.
Oh shoot! I left my gift at home.
You left a sticker on your hat too.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there's another one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you leave that one on there. You can.
What do you mean you leave that one on there?
This is like the one you leave on.
What does that mean?
It's the one I leave on.
What does that mean though?
It's just the one you leave on.
What does that mean?
I don't know what it means.
I don't either. That's what I'm asking you for. By the way, big RIP to Jimmy Butler. Speaking of basketball.
Yeah, speaking
icons.
of basketball. Yeah. 100 years old.
43rd president?
42nd.
42nd. I was close.
I think, or maybe even 40th.
Damn. Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Cotta.
Jimmy Carter. Passed away.
39th.
39th.
Yeah, because I guess it went him.
What's Trump going to be? 48?
45.
45?
45, 47, right?
47.
Yeah, it's 45 and the 47th.
And the
president.
47th. He doubled up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. What are you kidding me?
I can't believe it.
Can't believe he's gone.
That's because my
shit, I
freaking, it's my
forgot to-
freaking peanuts. My peanuts so sour.
Let me pull up that image that we were talking about. Jimmy Carter, Biden, Jill, Jugs. Here we go. Just make it wide. I think I can.
Oh my god.
Hold on, I gotta pull this up on OBS.
Holy shit.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
Here, I can do this. Hold on, wait. I gotta get some music or something.
Put like ominous music.
I wonder if I still have taps. I don't think I have taps anymore. No. It's still a little too like dubsteppy. No, it's too strange. Too Stranger Things. No, that's not it either. Hold on, guys. We're gonna get there. No, too dubsteppy again. Try this one. Yeah, here we go. On this day, we bid farewell. Goodbye, old friend. We love you and we miss you, Mr. Carter.
My freaking peanuts was sour.
My penis went sour. Goodbye, Jimmy Butler.
We'll see you in the next life, Jimmy Martina. Happy for you to be freed from this mortal coil of which you called life.
What are those balloons for?
What was that?
I don't know.
Was it something on Zoom?
I guess so.
What the fuck was that?
I don't really know, but it was kind of cool.
Can you tell me what that was?
Tell me what it was.
We'll miss you, Jimmy. We'll miss you, Jimmy Carter.
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 Jimmy!
Come back!
Get back here, Jimmy!
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 You are 100 years old, Jimmy. Your time has come.
You're dead!
You're dead!
You're
dead!
dead! Anyway.
Yeah, what a humanitarian. You still have it unmuted on there.
God damn it. Ruined everything.
Yeah, what a humanitarian. Love the guy.
Love the guy.
Yeah, I did see an interview with, I think, 60 Minutes, and he had a really good interview with them.
He was just a peanut guy.
Yeah, it's just, my freaking penis was sour. That's a Zach Hadel joke.
You stole it.
Yeah. Well, no, I've been saying it because I figured maybe someone would pick it up on it.
That's true. I sure didn't.
I know you didn't.
I'm next.
So yeah, that happened.
Can do that anytime now.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Pretty fun.
That's fantastic.
OBS is pretty fun. Oh, did I? Oh, no, I'm a stupid idiot. Let's get to our year in review of some of our favorite stories, huh?
Well, one, Jimmy Carter died.
Jimmy Carter died. That's a favorite. We talked about this gross German play, Sancta Lucia, I think it was called. Of course, it doesn't have the name of it right up top. Or Sancta, I think they're calling it. Where we had the naked people on the half pipe and then they ate human flesh.
Yeah.
There's nothing new as far as that goes.
Are you showing the screen on this?
I'm not, because I think they do end up showing some breasts, which YouTube won't like. Yeah, like they show here, so I just didn't want to. I wanted to be safe with it. But yeah, so we talked about this play. Like I said, I will be showing it on screen, but they do. There's partial nudity.
Yeah.
With it. But that was a fun one because they had the little person nun on the robotic arm spinning around.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, nothing new on that one, but that was a fun story. Of course, a favorite is our good old pal. I'll pull this one up. Elton John.
Elton John.
Not sitting on the John, using his wink.
Shoe shopping's a real pisser. That's an insane. I love.
Oh, I'm using the.
I love that. Love that TMZ.
Is that what it says?
Yeah, it says shoe shopping's a real pisser.
Shoe shopping's a real.
Allegedly
pisser.
peas in bottle. In store.
So good old Elton John here with his.
Did they Photoshop that?
Yellow.
Wow, that's
yeah,
awesome.
They did. They certainly did. But yeah, so Elton John went into a sneaker store in France.
They should have made him hugging 2 bottles of pee.
That would have been better. But I guess it would have been weird to cover up his teenage sons with piss bottles. Replace them with that. 70-year-old Elton John's teenage sons.
It's crazy because he
11 and 13.
He has went on a press tour essentially of the latter half of 2024. He like performed for the last time on stage,
right?
And said he couldn't see anymore.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things where it's like, why are you bringing all this stuff up now?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like he's old and doesn't give a fuck anymore, obviously, and he's retiring, so
right.
I guess leave it all out on the stage. But it is one of those things where it's like, okay, man. Like, do we need to hear? Literally everything I've heard about Elton John has been against my will this year.
Yeah.
I think there was another story I sent you. Was it the eye one?
Yeah, because there was this, and then it followed up a few months later with him saying that all of him he's losing.
There's pieces.
All of his organs.
Yeah, he's hardly got any of him left.
Yeah, and every Elton John story you've sent me.
Yeah, it's completely against my will. It's like it just pops up.
I think this is the year of Elton John, if I'm being honest. Because
Yeah.
this was my favorite story.
Yeah, this was by far. And then, well, okay, if we're going off the like, I can't see anymore bus, I wonder if he actually made it in the bottle then, because we joked about him missing the bottle.
Yeah, I
was
think we
thinking
talked about that too.
I think we joked about like he was missing the bottle and his bodyguards had to wipe it up.
Yeah, I missed a bit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we definitely did joke about that.
Yeah, but so he was in France. If you don't know the story, go watch the episode. You'll know because it's the one with Elton John with piss bottles around him. He was in France. He's a hoarder of piss bottles. He kept the bottle. He was in France for the Olympics. There you go, son. Here's my piece. He was in France, I believe, for the Olympics, and was in a sneaker store with his teenage sons. Don't forget. There you go. Elton fucking John. There you go.
Elton Pissin' John.
This came out of my John. Elton John. There you go. Still open. No cap on it. No cap.
It's one on the side.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Bit of a shaky hand. I've lost most of me nerves.
I don't have my own hands anymore.
These aren't me hands. I'm not going to lie. These aren't me hands.
It's so funny because that's not how he sounds.
It kind of is.
In his old age, it doesn't sound like that.
Oh, I guess I don't know what he sounds
kind of
like.
mellowed out a little bit. But anyway.
He lost
one
his
of
accent.
our favorites. One of our favorites.
One of our favorites, yeah.
So-
He pissed in a bottle, had to go to the bathroom, didn't have one, so he went to his bodyguard and said, give me a bottle. And then they were still in the sneaker store, and he just like, apparently just did it like in the middle of the store.
Yeah.
Just pissed in a bottle.
Yeah, dick out, taking balls out of his.
Yeah,
that's
we were
great.
wondering if he
Like-
pulled his balls out.
and probably missed, especially now he mentioned like he
Yeah.
can't see anymore. And like one of the last performances he did, he like was like, thank you so much. I wish I could see you.
Did he really
Yeah,
say that?
he like came out on stage like afterwards, and he's like, this was my last show. He's like, I know you guys are crying and laughing and clapping and stuff like that, but I can't see you. So
Oh man.
it was just like, Jesus Christ, man, just wrap it
Yeah.
up.
I think he did miss, and I think they had to clean it up because I think he asked for a towel, didn't he? I'm remembering that now. Oh yeah, and my favorite part was the guy didn't know who he was, and he's like, "I'm Elton John."
He's
He
like,
said
okay.
that. He's like, "Oh, okay," and he had to look him up.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not seeing that here. Maybe it might have been in a different.
that might have just been something we made up too.
I'm pretty sure. I think that was a thing. Oh yeah. Sounds like Elton John's got poor aim. We're told he got some pee on the floor and asked his security for a towel to clean up the mess.
Then that adds up. He's had that for wow. Congratulations, Elton.
There he is.
I wish he spelled Elton like Elgton, so it's like Elgton.
Elgton.
Yeah, I wish it was like
That
that.
would be pretty cool. But it's not. So.
But it's not, so it's just Elton.
So whatever.
Saturday night's alright for fires. Saturday night's alright. Alright. Ooh.
I really think it is the year of Elton.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these. We had some Lego theft rings. Oh, a Lego theft ring we touched on.
That's not the type of ring that you put on your cock either.
No, it's not. Trust me.
It's not a Lego theft ring.
It's not a Lego sex ring.
Yeah. No,
It's a theft ring.
A cock ring. It's a Lego theft ring.
Theft ring. So there was this big one in California that happened. And it was interesting because we talked about them. I'm sure you remember this, Gavin.
Oh, I remember this very well.
They like found it in a house and they took it all back, and we were talking about like they should have done a picture of them posing in front of it.
Arms out.
And it's funny we brought that up. So these people stole these Legos, yada yada, somewhere in California.
And we were joking that the police were going to steal it from the Steelers and be like, "Oh, my son really wants this," but he's like a Millennium Falcon that's like $250, $350, and he's like, "Oh man, I really want that." Yeah,
really wants that.
my son really wants it, not me. I have to get it for him.
He told me he really wanted it. Did you watch that video I sent of my favorite guys talking about Legos?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
He's like, he built this Lego and it was a car.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck was that? He's like, dude, it was like thousands of pieces.
I gotta talk about those guys at some point.
Yeah, that's gonna be a look what I found.
Yeah,
100%.
it should be. Maybe
because
that'll be
I was
new
like,
year.
what is this? Whenever you sent that, I was like, that's insane.
They're my favorite guys.
And I was like, what is the point of him showing it at all?
I might have
Because
to
then
ask.
he's like reflects horribly on the screen, so you can hardly even see it.
And then
yeah.
that's the end of the
Then that's
clip.
the end of the clip. That's it.
I might have to. I know we don't do guests a ton, and we do have some people that we need to get on that I haven't reached out to yet, but I think I might have to reach out to those guys.
Yeah, just have him show off his Legos.
Yeah, because there's a whole crop of these guys, and they're awesome. I'll talk about them eventually, but they're great. So, yeah, this one happened. No follow-up to this because I think these people got arrested. But weirdly enough, let me make sure I have the right one. So this one was in June 7th of this year. This one was, let me just check if that's the date. Okay, that was a little later. And then this one popped up in Oregon literally a month after, July 10th. Oregon police recover $200,000 worth of Lego sets in massive bust. That's the kind of Lego ring you're talking about.
Yes, please get me involved in this.
Get me in that Lego bust.
Give me a Lego in that massive bust.
So this one, they actually did kind of pose with it. though.
Nice. Wow,
Yeah.
that is a lot of Legos.
It is a lot.
Wow. That's
But
probably not even all of it either.
They did this like fucking dope ass pose where they're like,
Yeah, they're holding
shadows.
hands. They're holding each other's penises.
He's about to grab for his penis.
They're crossed over. They're grabbing each other's penises.
That'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
So they kind of did pose with it there.
Yeah.
Did I zoom way out? I feel like I did. Yeah. So this one, I think they
They like jerked each other off onto these boxes of Legos.
On
It
the
was
Legos.
$200,000 worth of it. It was a whole thing. It was a big old mess.
It was a big mess. This one, they went and sold it to a store. The owner of Brick Builder said Thursday that many of the Lego sets shown in the photos posted by police are special collector's items that his client traded with other sellers across the country. It could not have been stolen. So, yeah, I guess they sold them to a store, and the store said that they were buying them knowing that they were stolen or
Christ.
something. It's a crazy story. And then there was another one that just happened, excuse me.
Like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but that happened, December 11th.
In Texas.
Police bust, another bust, $400,000 Lego theft ring that impacted over 40 North Texas
50.
stores. 50. Thank you. I don't know why. Why did I replace that with a 4? Brian Fleming and Ladorian Anderson of Lancaster, Texas.
Ladarian.
I said Ladorian. Who cares? Close enough. Are accused of devising a scheme that allowed them to steal thousands of dollars worth of Lego sets.
It's not thousands. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Hundreds. Well,
I know, but I mean, like, what, thousands of dollars? Come on, you put $100,000. You put at least over $100,000. You can say hundreds of thousands.
I like this. The police is gonna shoot and kill the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, both 33.
The Lego crime ring started in October 2022 when another suspect was found with 19 circuit machines in the back of his car, or cricket machines. The trooper who found the machines learned that they were stolen. It prompted a multi-agency investigation. The affidavit states an Amazon investigator said the man selling the items received invoices for Legos and other items from Fleming, the affidavit said. Per the affidavit, the men would buy items at the stores, usually under $2, with their credit and debit cards, and then alter the receipts to make it look like they bought expensive Lego sets.
That's weird.
So it was just fraud.
It was just fraud, yeah.
That's like,
huh.
A group of at least 10 people would then sell the stolen Lego sets to another man who was selling highly stolen items on online platforms like Amazon and eBay, according to the affidavit. That's crazy.
Highly stolen. Crazy. $1.1 million bond.
Yeah, but these are just toys.
They're just toys.
Yeah,
guys.
they're not worth anything.
Yeah, so it went from, this one didn't have a price range, but it said
2,800 boxes.
Yeah, so it went from 100K maybe to 200 to 400. All in the span of a year.
Yeah,
big year for Legos.
Lego theft rings. Well, I mean, that type of theft ring.
Mm-hmm.
They go crazy, I guess. Next year, it could be $1 million franchise.
We could have $1 million sex Lego ring.
Yep.
Adults only. I want to get invited to the Lego ring. Big year for Legos, though. Of course. Everybody loves Legos. And then, this is the biggest story of the year by far. Definitely one of my favorites. But
yeah.
The biggest, for sure, was the Willie's chocolate experience. You brought this to my attention because you were looking online. They have a whole Wikipedia page about it now, which is very funny.
That's awesome.
It was a Willy Wonka's, set out to be a Willy Wonka's chocolate experience, not related to the movie in any way. In Scotland, I think.
Yeah.
Glasgow.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody knows this story. It didn't go right. The art was all AI. We were able to access the website. I'm sure it's probably down now, but it was a whole fiasco. There was an Oompa Loompa who was really sad looking and yada yada. And the story like blew up. Like that Oompa Loompa was on like every show. And she was like a character herself. Like she was really funny and just kind of like out there. Because like all these people, like she said she was hired the day before from Craigslist. So like you can only imagine. And it's just it's so bonkers that this happened. And
it even says there was a documentary made in March about it.
Yeah, and I read that people said it wasn't great. Like it wasn't a good documentary. Which I was like, I mean, that makes sense. Like how much is there to really talk about it?
There was a script for the event.
Yeah, they gave him a script.
It was called Wonky Doodles at McDuff's Chocolate Factory, a script.
Yeah, Wonky Doodles. Because the Oompa Loompas were called like, what were they called? Called Wonky Doodles. That's what they were called. And then I gotta remember what the fucking...
Yeah, I'll just read the script. This is actually pretty funny.
Okay.
And it describes McDuff leading an audience through the Garden of Enchantment and the Twilight Tunnel. Once there, they are confronted by a character called the Unknown, described as an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls.
I want to stop you there real quick. The Unknown, this came out recently. There wasn't much to talk about, but the Unknown, the person who played the Unknown was interviewed, and they're a 17-year-old who was like, who was like hired to do something the day before, but couldn't memorize the script, so they just like lurked around and was weird. But they were 17.
Jesus.
Yeah.
who seeks to steal the magical anti-graffiti gobstopper from McDuff's Imagination Lab. The gobstopper is a sweet so powerful it can make any room sparkle without lifting a finger. McDuff defeats the unknown by amplifying the power of the gobstopper and causing his enemy to be gently swept up by a robotic vacuum, humorously ending the confrontation.
It is humorous.
The script was unusual in that it included stage directions for the audience and descriptions of their reactions. Connell described it as 15 pages of AI-generated gibberish of me just monologuing these mad things.
And Connell was who played McDuff.
Yeah. And then
Or
compared the
Willie.
vacuum cleaner plot point to that of the video game Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Interviewed after the event, Cole, who
is the one who put this event together and wrote the script.
claimed to have written the script himself using AI only to check spelling, grammar, and continuity.
Which is impossible.
Yeah, that's not what that's used for.
Yeah, no. So yeah, that was a big deal. Not a ton of updates since then. I mean, it was so long ago. There has been, but not. I mean, it's all what we just read.
This is the best of 2024
for sure. But when I was searching this up, I came across a similar.
I did see this.
You
too.
did see this.
I did
Okay.
see this, yeah.
First of all, I don't think it was as big of a deal
No,
as this one was
100%
making it.
wasn't.
And we'll watch some of this clip, but it's so fucking long. But there was a similar thing, I say in quotations, that happened in Washington, D.C. with this thing called the Jingle Bar. So this is a clip. Let me pull it up over here. And again, we'll watch like some of it, but there's like so much.
I did see this. Yeah. This exact video.
Oops.
An empty warehouse. This is essentially what happened to us.
So she's like
this is
explaining.
story time. A few weeks ago, I got this email inviting
I'll let her
me
set
to
it
an
up.
exclusive media night at a new holiday pop-up bar in Washington, D.C. Pause here to read the whole email. A few other D.C. influencers were invited as well. We all
So yeah, so she was invited to this. Yada yada. It goes along. I'll skip to whenever they get in there.
what you're about to see. My best friends are coming into town
Okay.
this weekend from college.
Skip ahead a little bit. Oops.
As far as I was like confusing. Keep in mind, this is what we were expecting to walk into. So we go into this strange building, we go up to the second floor, and this is what we walk into. A moment of silence.
Looks like fun.
Certainly does. So this is the crazy part to me. She'll talk about it.
So yeah, that's what we walked into. We wanted our money back. Even though it was just $17, it was so freaking annoying to get scammed like that. So we asked the woman who, by the way, that video, they were leading a game of charades. So I went up to her and I asked her what her name was. And her first question was why? And I said, oh, I've been emailing with someone who I guess is a part of the promotional team for this event. And I was just wondering if it's you. And she was being super sus, but she said, oh, is it from Showtime Agency? And I said, yes. To which she responded, I'm not part of that agency. You can tell them you spoke with one of the actors. Actors. As in, you've been paid to be here and pretend like you're having fun and playing charades type actors. And I actually think that's what all of those people who were gathered around in that circle playing charades were. They were paid actors hired by this fake agency to pretend like they're having fun playing charades in the middle of what looked like an AA room. And everyone who
So that was the weirdest part, is that there's
so damn quick.
That they're actors.
that there are actors hired to be there in this weird, like, fake bar. So not as
nearly,
crazy,
yeah, but it is. I feel like there was something similar that happened in St. Louis that there was it was on the St. Louis subreddit. They're like, what about this light place? Like, you know, I guess they have like this pop-up light place that always shows up every year. And every year everybody's always disappointed by it, but I always forget what it is. It's not like the very popular ones. It's like these other knockoff like light ones. It's not like the Botanical Gardens one. Like the Botanical Gardens one is legit. It's very pretty. Like you should go.
Yeah.
But like
I know what you're
there's
talking
another
about,
one
though.
where it's like in a warehouse and they're just like, this is like every year someone talks about it.
I feel like this just happens a lot more than we're aware of. That like,
There's all these really
Yeah.
shitty type of like, you can rent a place for a day for like $100.
yeah,
And they buy, you know, $50 worth of stuff, and then they're like, yep, we can put on an event.
yeah, we can do it. Yeah, I think it happens a lot more, and people just like don't talk about it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because it's more embarrassing that they got, quote unquote scammed.
Right.
And they want to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, even like this, I think this woman didn't even really want to talk about, getting scammed because she's
Right.
like, I don't want to, like, she's like, it was $17, but I didn't want to be there.
And also, like, I feel like she probably didn't have to pay for it because she was invited to go to it. So
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
a little confused by that, unless they were like, you have to pay for your friends.
Yeah, you're
to
invited,
go.
but you got to pay for it.
Yeah, I don't think that's entirely true. Unless
Yeah.
they were like, you got to pay for your friends to go. So I don't know. I'm not calling her a liar or nothing. I'm just saying.
I ain't calling her the truther.
I ain't saying that either. But yeah, so that happened. I have a really quick story, a little drama story to bring
Sure.
up with you, Gavin. I don't know if you heard anything about this. So there's this guy. I've talked about him on the show before. His name's Finn McKenty, or known on his YouTube page as the Punk Rock MBA is what it's called.
Okay.
And I started watching him, oh gosh, I want to say around COVID times, maybe a little thereafter, because his like stuff would show up and it was like about like, weird metal or a lot of hardcore stuff, which is around the time I was like really heavily getting into hardcore more, and loved his stuff. Thought it was great. It was really in depth. He did a super good job of it. Seemed like he was like super interested in it, like talked about his experience of going to shows back in the day, yada, yada. Just a guy super interested in music. And I'd never really gotten into any like music YouTubers like Fantano or whatever, just because like they didn't always talk about music I really cared for. Whereas this was like a niche music thing. And his channel kind of blew up. It did really well. Videos were getting tons of views. I started watching when it was like a little bit smaller, but still on the rise. So yeah, big fan of this guy. And then out of nowhere, I guess last week, I want to say, before I left, I was on YouTube late and I see a Fantano video with Finn's face on it and it says like he lied about everything. And I've never watched a Fantano video before. I think he's a very funny guy. And I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
And I watched it, and apparently recently Finn was like, I'm done making YouTube videos. Because he was like a marketing guy before, did a lot of marketing stuff. He's like, I'm done making videos. Like I'm, quitting. I'm going to focus on like teaching and oh, that's you, buddy.
Sean's calling me.
Uh-oh. You want to answer him?
What's up, buddy?
You're on the podcast.
Hey, buddy.
You're on the podcast right now. What's up, man?
You're a special guest.
Oh, I'm just on the way home from work.
You bored?
Well, yeah.
You're in the podcast, dude. What do you want, dude? You're a special guest.
Yeah.
You're doing the podcast right now?
You're on it. Yeah.
Shit, what's up, everybody?
They all said hi. We're your live studio audience today.
Oh, shit.
I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
See you, dude.
Bye.
Thanks for calling in. But yeah, so he was like, I want to focus on training people and teaching people marketing, stuff like that. I want to focus on LinkedIn, he specifically said. And I was like, oh, whatever. But then
Did you watch that video?
his video?
Yeah.
No, this is all just Fantano talking about
Okay.
it. And then what Fantano was really touching on is that Finn, since he said he was quitting, went on some other music person's podcast. And by the way, I should mention Finn had a podcast where he had tons and tons of musicians on. He had like Connie, the lead singer of See You Space Cowboy, like really like niche band members on this podcast. So Finn goes on another podcast and the guy's like asking him about why he left. And Finn was saying stuff like, I don't even give a shit about music. Like I reached my cap for how much money I can make off of this YouTube show. I don't care about music. He was like, made like a ton of videos on System of a Down. And he's like, I've never even listened to System of a Down. I don't like any of this music. Like it was all
Have you gone back
fake.
and watched any of those videos?
No, not
Okay.
since then.
Okay.
But like he was literally just straight up being like, yeah, I don't give a shit about
fuck,
any of this.
yeah.
I was just doing it to make money. And it was like, what? What are you talking about? And it's like, a lot of people in the comments were like, this could just be cope, because like Finn would talk a lot about how he thought hate comments were so stupid and would make fun of people for commenting things and stuff like that. So people maybe think that just like got to him and he was just like coping and trying to get away from it. But he literally straight up said that he didn't give a shit about music. He didn't care about any of this. And he also said, literally all I would do is go on Wikipedia and just read verbatim what it said on Wikipedia.
And the thing is that if he had formed any opinions, is that on the music without listening to it, is that people would assume that he had listened to it. So any of the opinions he had, it was like, oh, well, that's his. You know, but obviously people argue in the comments of all these music videos all the time.
Right.
Those types of music, about music videos.
Right.
That are like, it would make, you know, it just makes it seem like, oh, you know, people are like, oh, then, you know, you're saying that they sound like this, but they don't sound like that, dude. You know, then he'd be like, well, that's your opinion. You know what I mean? Like
opinion.
that, I feel like that's what you could get away with, especially with music. I don't blame him for like, you know, being able to get away with it for so long, but it's
if
so
that's
shitty.
even true.
Yeah. I mean, regardless.
Right.
It's just like, if he
it's
actually,
shitty to say that.
it's shitty to say that about anything.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty disingenuous.
Yeah. And Fantano and another guy I watched, I can't remember his name, who both covered it. Like both said that they had met Finn. He was a very nice guy. Like they didn't have a super close relationship with him or anything, but that they were like really like, you know, thought it was disgusting that he did this, but also like shocked that this happened. Cause like, and I don't remember this. And also Finn streamed. He was like would like do live stream tier list videos of bands and stuff. And I swear to God, I remember Finn like showing pictures of him at concerts. Like, I don't know that for sure because nobody else mentioned that. I tried to see if I was crazy about that. I didn't see anybody else mention it. So like, I could have just made that up. But I swear I remember him like showing pictures of him at concerts or meeting whoever like way back in the day. And so it's like, what do you mean? Like, how can you put this, how do you fake this for so long? Because he was on, I think it said his channel started in like 2016 or something like that.
Wow. Yeah. So he's been at it for at least 9 years.
And also, why would you think that such a niche music YouTube thing would be able to take? Yeah, would be a money grab.
It'd be different if he was making like Taylor Swift content all the time.
Yeah. Or like even Fantano type stuff. Because Fantano kind of just covers everything.
Yeah, he covers whatever.
Yeah. So like, but to be so niche about it and to stick with that.
Yeah.
And to expect it to
pay off.
It's
weird.
Crazy. Like if he really did
it might
fake
just be cope.
That's what I think, because it's like,
or if his viewership went down over the years, or you know, like it went up a little bit, but maybe it's down. So he's like, well, I didn't care about it anyway. It was just like something I just was doing.
Right. And people were like, damn, I got called a poser by the biggest poser ever and stuff like that, because he would do that kind of content of being like, if you like this band, you suck, or this band, it's just, like, I remember there was this one band, he was like, this band is exactly like not. This is the only time that maybe I could actually thinking about it now is like, maybe he was faking it, because he said this one band is exactly like, or Knocked Loose is exactly like this other band, and I listened to them. I'm like, no, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not even at all.
Yeah,
like there's like a part in it that's similar, because he would pick out like very specific things in a song that sounded like this song.
And that's the thing, is that he probably just listened to one song and was like, yep, that sounds like that.
I guess, but
that's... And then it was like, I can make a whole video off of that.
How do you have no interest in music at all and are able to do that, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's crazy. Crazy story, because like as being a fan of him and then him just being like...
So did you unsubscribe?
No, I don't give a shit. Yeah, crazy. Definitely a story I was not expecting to do.
No.
I also thought that maybe it was a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
To go on this show and say that it was all fake, that he's just like you said, maybe his views are down and he's like, let me draw on some new attention by like making a big deal about this. And all of a sudden, what do you know? Fantano picks it up. This other guy picks it up, and these big music YouTubers pick it up. He's a marketing guy, so obviously he knows what he's doing.
He knows how to attract attention to himself.
Exactly. I don't know. Very weird.
Yeah, I wonder.
Very, very weird. It's interesting. I'll send you that. You'll have to watch that Fantano video.
Yeah. I didn't. I feel like I do have Fantano's. I do subscribe to him, but I don't. Maybe I just don't watch him as much as I thought.
Yeah,
thought I did. I only watch him for videos or like for albums I want to watch.
Right.
Like, listen to see like what he thinks about it, because it's like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that was my first time I had to watch one of his videos. Crazy though, crazy story. I don't know what this clip is, so we're gonna kind of just find out. But I think it was something that we sent in our group chat. Oh yeah. I forgot about
This was right after the election.
I thought it was. I know it's like such old news, but I just have to watch it because it's very funny. So
There were
it
people on
says-
Twitter that were going in on this clip too.
Okay. It's from Instagram. It says, "Told my neighbor Kamala won." I don't know. Oh, it's because I have muted.
To new ballots, 40 million new ballots. Kamala Harris is president-elect.
Bullshit! She better not have.
You know what? Hillary Clinton and her are working together. They're hiding files.
What?
She's your president,
She
Tina.
ain't my president.
She just won the election.
A woman can't run this country.
Ah, not if it's like you.
Oh, I get it straight.
I just thought bullshit. I think I need to put that on the soundboard.
No, you should. That is 100%. That's a clip worthy.
I just wanted to watch that because, like I said, I thought it was pretty funny.
I think there was someone on Twitter that was like, "There's no way that my vote counted as much as hers." There was a large population of people that were on my side of Twitter that were talking about like literacy tests and like not very good things about like getting like more educated people to vote. And I'm like, we did that for a long time.
That's you're kind of just being racist without even knowing you're being racist.
And so many people were like, yeah, but like there's got to be a way.
Oh,
Like
Jesus
no,
Christ.
like the whole point is that anybody can vote.
Yeah, that's the
The whole point is that
point.
everybody's allowed to vote. You're a citizen, you can vote.
And we're trying to allow more people to vote, not the
Not take
opposite.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There
I
was a
like-
lot of discourse.
There was a
after the
lot
election.
of that. And I was like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about?
Yep.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it's like Cope Harder pussies. Let's just face the
Yeah,
fact of
like-
what's actually going on.
Yeah, like he won, all right? Like
Yeah.
it,
I know a
Jesus
lot of
Christ.
very well educated people that voted for Trump.
right.
So I don't
Right.
think it has anything to do with that. What a mess.
Bullshit.
Bullshit! Bullshit! Let's talk about some movies, huh?
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, during our little break, I went and saw the new Kyle Mooney movie, Y2K. I really enjoyed it. I don't know why. I'm hearing people who I like and other people out there that didn't like it. I think that's stupid. I think people are trying to take it way too seriously. I think it's just a fun movie, reminiscent of like, I think it's a movie called like This Is the End or something. There's like some other like world-ending movies that are like comedy is very much like those. Kind of like a Project X
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah. Like the world's gonna end tomorrow.
Yeah.
We gotta fuck each other.
Yeah, kinda to an extent. And it's just fun. It's just a fun movie. It's not like, it's not trying to be something that I feel like people are thinking it's like.
Trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they saw a lot of people say it was derivative and it was trying to make too many references and
Well, that's the whole point of
and
it.
I was like, that's the whole fucking movie.
Yeah. And it's like, well, you just didn't get the references because they made like an Al Gore reference, I think. I think it was Al Gore. And like nobody in the audience understood it, but I
Yeah.
thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I think people played it really well. Shout out friend of the show, Tim,
Yeah.
was the dad in it.
And you got to meet Kyle Mooney,
Got to meet Kyle Mooney, yeah,
director and star of the show.
and star of it. His character is very funny. He's playing a stoner white guy with dreads, which is very good. Yeah, it's fun. I liked it. But the main thing I want to touch on it, and I brought this up to you earlier, and this is a big deal for me and for us, and I think for fans of the show. The ending of the movie, I kid you not, is exactly the ending of Lawnmower Man.
And was that on purpose?
I don't know. I want to if I had seen the movie before I met Kyle, I totally would have asked him about that. Because spoilers for Y2K.
Did they go to like a facility and they blow up the facility?
Kind of. They do go to a facility. So you remember in Lawnmower Man where Job puts himself into the computer.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? I almost said Patrick Bateman.
Pierce Brosnan
Pierce Brosnan goes into the computer to
stop him
stop him.
and like has a conversation with him in this like metaverse.
Yeah. So in this, it's like about robots. So they go to the center where like the robots are congregating, and the main girl, Rachel Zegler, is like a computer whiz, computer nerd, and she finds a way to stop it, but they have to get into the main system of the computers. When they get to where the main system is, a screen pops up, and it looks exactly like the computer character of Job
In the Lawnmower
in
Man.
Lawnmower Man on the computer. I'm gonna
So
see if
it's
I
like
can find
that
a
yellow,
picture. Yep,
like,
yellow,
yeah.
exact same like
Orange, yellow.
yeah, orange, yellow, like CGI style. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I bet it's probably not up there. Y2K. I could probably even just type in Lawnmower Man. But it like blew my mind. I was like, whoa. Yeah, this is it. I'll pull it up on screen. But this is what it looked like.
It almost certainly.
It has to be. Like it's way too close not to be.
Yeah. There's
Like-
no way it's not.
I couldn't believe it. And it was like talking and like doing those like weird like
Yeah.
like big expressions and stuff. Where it was like doing expressions that it shouldn't be. Yeah, exactly. It was crazy. I like couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, Lawnmower Man. It still has
So it's got a hold on the zeitgeist.
yeah. And I guess it made sense because like Lawnmower Man came out in 96, I think.
I think it was 93, but
Yeah, I think you're right. It was 93 or 92.
92.
Yeah, 92. So it was like very, just of the time. And I'm sure that's what he was going for. I'd love to ask him though. Because yeah, that blew my mind. I was like,
Have
whoa.
Tim text him.
Yeah, I'll be like, Tim, can you text him and ask?
Can you ask Kyle for me real quick?
Or maybe Tim would know. He probably wouldn't know. He'd probably be like, what?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking? Go away. No, he wouldn't say that. He would probably be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then that would be the end of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, Y2K, good. Go see it if you can. But, get that off the screen. We went and saw Nosferatu.
We saw Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. In the theater last week, day after Christmas. We went with my brother and saw it. And it was great.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I thought it went on a little long.
Yes.
I think there was a couple parts where I was like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. I was really worried it was going to turn into a Beetlejuice. Like,
Yeah.
they have to get married before midnight, or
Yeah.
or the Nosferatu's going to kill her.
Yeah.
I was really worried that was where it was going to go.
Uh-huh.
Nah, I didn't know. I didn't know going in what the ending was, but it was like, I was very worried that was where it was going to go, because they almost gave that off. Like it
Spoilers. by the
yeah,
way,
it gave off that like
Yeah.
vibe to me, because they were like, oh yeah, like he's getting married to her. They're recently married. Yet she also has this vow to Orlok,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, okay, so does that mean they have to get married again?
Yeah.
I
another
thought
wedding?
I thought the cinematography was beautiful. I thought that
Same.
the shots. Some people complain about the coloration of it. I think the coloration fit perfectly with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it went black and white a couple times. I'm glad it was kind of like a blue hue. I'm glad it had like that kind of like, he definitely had like a dread throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish that they kind of explained like how the plague worked in the movie.
Yeah. It was a little weird.
It was kind of just like out of the blue for me. Like, it was just kind of like, oh, he brought rats. Okay.
Yeah, and then the doctors, who are the only doctors in town, kind of seem to not really give too much of a shit about
Yeah,
it.
they're like, oh, they got the plague. Oh, well, we still have to focus, like, treat them with everything we've got, but I still have to focus on getting the Nosferatu out of town.
Yeah, which was weird. Because I know that they like knew that getting Nosferatu out of the town would stop the plague.
Yeah.
But they were still like just acting like the plague.
I mean, there were
wasn't even
dead people
happening,
on the stairs that they were walking
that
down.
they were walking by, and it's like, you guys are the only doctors here, I think.
Yeah.
And you're not doing anything.
Granted, in probably 1838, there isn't much you can do for the Black Plague, but
Yeah.
regardless, it was like they didn't talk about this impending doom of the plague also coming with him.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was just like,
Here it is.
yeah, oh shoot, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
And it was like, and then they also just, I guess, figured out that he lived in the house, or they
Yeah.
never figured out that he was at the house at the end of the town.
Yeah.
They never figured that out. They didn't go into that house a lot. There was like maybe 2 or 3 shots.
Not until he showed up, and then they.
No,
went
I mean,
there.
like just in character, just like the movie director, they didn't go into
Oh,
that
yeah,
house a lot.
you're
There was
right.
like 2 or 3
Once.
shots. Yeah.
Which is weird. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I will say one thing I loved is that they didn't. You could like always just kind of make out the Count's face,
Yeah.
like just barely.
Yeah.
Like it was always like really hard to see it.
Yeah.
It got clearer towards the end of the movie, but like it was still like really like fuzzy and dark, and you could kind of just see his mouth moving.
Yeah, they did a really good job with his hands too.
Mhm.
Like I don't have very gangly fingers, but they made his fingers
Yeah.
like really gangly. Unfortunately, he had hair like much like mine, and he had a mustache much like
Yeah,
mine.
he did, which I thought
He-
was kind of weird.
And he had like a hook nose, much like mine. I was
Uh-huh.
like, I could play Nosferatu this Halloween.
You could do it. Maybe that's what's coming.
Yeah, I have to grow a mustache and wear like a big fur coat
Mhm.
over my arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought that Nicholas Bolt, was that who it is?
Holt.
Holt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicholas Holt played a really good character. I think he did a really great job of showing emotion in that movie.
Mhm.
I thought it was really cool after the first time that he met Orlok that like it went silent whenever he was screaming. Like he was like screaming straight into the camera. He's like sweating. He's like, it just like
remember
went
that.
pure silent
Okay.
right before he like, he like went at him
Oh yes.
next to
yes,
him in the
yes,
chair.
Yeah.
He's like, take a seat.
yeah.
Why don't you have a seat?
Don't you have a seat?
Yeah, I thought it was a really great movie. I think I couldn't pick out who the actors were, which was great, except for like Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Holt, and Willem Dafoe. But the
Yeah.
other actors, I could not pick them out. Like if you were to be like, oh, this guy played this character, I would have been like, okay, I've never seen him before.
Yeah.
I think they do a really good job of like, it didn't take me too much out of the movie, but seeing Willem Dafoe was like, I knew he was coming in the movie because someone had spoiled it for me for that. Like, oh, wait till Willem Dafoe comes in.
Mhm.
But there comes a point in some movies where I'm like trying to figure out who they are, like especially like the wife of the guy who was pregnant, the wife who was pregnant, not the guy who was pregnant, but
Yeah.
the wife
Yeah.
who was pregnant. Like I couldn't figure out who that was. I was like,
I don't either.
I was like, that's not Margot Robbie, but it's someone who looks very similar to Margot
yeah,
Robbie.
yeah.
I'm like, it's very odd. It's uncanny. I was like, I was trying to figure out for so long. I was like, whatever, I'll just figure it out. But I will say they did look like they were from the 18th or the 19th century.
Yeah, they killed it.
Yeah.
And Gavin immediately, as the movie started and you first get transported into the city, he was like, Muppets Christmas Carol.
It is exactly like a Muppets Christmas Carol. The
Yeah.
city is exactly the same.
It's
the camera
funny.
movements, the buildings, everything was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Intentional or not, I don't know. It
Yeah.
was, but it was still great. Like I think the movie overall, I kind of want to watch it again. I just wish it wasn't as long.
Yeah, it is long.
I was like, yeah. I'm glad. I told Carson, I said, I'm glad that the guy ended up fucking his dead wife. I'm glad that they ended up doing that.
I'm glad that happened.
I'm glad that happened because it was like, this movie is not like that twisted.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah.
like, okay, where's the twist?
Right.
Or you're like, what's the twisted shit? Oh, he fucks his dead wife.
Kills the kids.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Tries making out with his dead wife.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
There's some twisted in it. There's
Yeah.
some
Yeah, I was
boobies.
also, I think I was actually genuinely scared in the first half of the movie though.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this going? Like, where is this going?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was very good. Yeah. I was telling Gavin and my brother that it's exactly the same, pretty much the same story as Bram Stoker's Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula, though, is a bit of a more weird kind of avant-garde version of it, whereas this was more straightforward and scarier and more dreadful.
Yeah.
So two completely different movies, but same story.
Yeah.
Not saying there's anything against that. It's the story. But just saying that I was like, when things started happening, I was like, oh, this is that movie. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. But it's cool. I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on the same movie. I mean, that's what's so fun about movies.
And it
You gotta
wasn't
keep
like
remaking them
a
forever.
direct copy of any of them. Like it was very
Yeah.
much like an homage type of movie to the other Nosferatu.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah.
was great.
And Lily Rose Depp did good.
yeah.
She did great. And of course, we got to talk about our boy, Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah. I did not know that was Bill Skarsgård.
Who blew my fucking mind away finding out. Gavin told me a tidbit that was all his voice.
Like he did training for
Yep.
it. He had like opera voice coaches.
Which is crazy. He played the Dracula, of course,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Just such a insane character actor. I mean, he really is the new Ron Perlman, I think, in a way. Like he can be him
Or Andy Serkis.
but he can also be these crazy characters, Pennywise, Nosferatu.
Yeah, and that range,
actor.
that range is incredible.
Yeah, he was even great in Barbarian. I thought he was really good in it.
Yeah, I forgot about
And
that.
he was just playing himself.
Yeah.
And it's cool. I love now we're talking about Barbarian, but I love Barbarian because you see Bill Skarsgård, and it's all like the movie is kind of like seems like it's setting up for him to be the bad guy
Yeah.
the whole time.
But he's like,
and then he's
killed off,
not at
like,
all.
immediately.
Yeah, he's killed off, and he's just like a normal guy. And yeah, he's just good. When you see him though, you're like,
Well,
all I can think
whenever
is
you mentioned it was
Pennywise.
Skarsgård, I thought you were talking about his dad. I was like,
Oh.
oh, maybe, like, because like the dad played Baron Harkonnen in Dune, so
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe that's who that is. Maybe
Yeah.
that's who played the monster. But it was straight up Bill Skarsgård. Like, that's great.
Yeah, he knows. He got a family of actors right there.
Yeah, they got some good character actors.
They do, for sure. Yeah, that's Nosferatu. It's good. Let's jump into this main segment as we need to start wrapping things up. But this is the big one here, folks. Top 5 albums of the year for Gavin and I. We are going to start from 5, go up to 1, and we'll hit on some of our honorable mentions. Gavin, if you are ready, I would love for you to go first. If not, I can. Whatever you would like to do. And we'll kind of talk about each of them as we go, or, if we don't have much to talk about, we can make it as short as we want to.
Oh man, there's so many good albums that came out this year. I think I'm just gonna double check this.
Yeah, take your time.
I'm gonna have the.
I also am really stupid and forgot to write down the names of these albums. But I don't know why I didn't do that. I know what they are. I just don't know the names off the top of my head. Ugh.
Honorable mention.
I thought we were doing honorable mentions last.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or do you want to do them first? What would you rather do? First
I
or
think
last?
honorable mention first
Okay,
makes sense.
I have a
Honorable
whole list,
mention,
so.
I think. Well,
Let's do them last because
Yeah.
it's kind of like keeping it like, I wonder what's going to be,
yeah.
what is, you know what I mean? Let's
Yeah.
save it for the end. Let's save it for the end because I have quite a few. I have like a
I'll
list.
go. I didn't rate them yet because there were so many. So,
Okay, oops, that's not good.
definitely, I would say 5 is probably Cage the Elephant's Neon Pill. Wasn't a great album, but I did listen to it quite a bit whenever it came out. I listened to that album front to back, I think 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
It's a very short, quick album. And it does even, I mean, he even did some really good interviews with, I think it was CBS Sunday Morning.
Hold on, wait, real quickly. I literally just deleted my list. How can I undo that in my notes app? Sorry, I just want to make sure I don't fuck it up. If not, I have it up here, but now I lost all my honorable mentions.
It's not in the recently deleted either.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't delete the note. I deleted the whole text somehow, of course.
Ooh.
Which is fine. I have it up here. It's just fucking annoying.
Is it this?
That's happened to me before. Oh, yeah, that is it. What the fuck did I do? Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to make sure I didn't fucking lose that.
Yeah, lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
He was talking about, he was on CBS Sunday Morning, the lead singer was, I forget his name. That's gonna fail me, but I'm not really that worried about it. But he talked about like why this album was made. And I guess he was pretty hooked on I think he was hooked on like Adderall or something like that. He had like a really bad addiction. And so this was talking about that. Like that
Okay.
album is more of like a commentary on addiction.
Okay.
And like recovering and getting friends back and family back and you know getting back in the field of things. I think it was pretty good. Obviously not their best work, but I think this is my top 5. This is not the top 5. This is my top 5. I think that this was a great album for 2024.
Nice. My number 5. I will just say for my whole list, I was telling Gavin, there's a lot of great albums for me that came out this year, but usually in years past, I've been like, that's a number 1 album for sure. The past 2 years, I've like, my number 1 has always been For Sure. I'm still pretty for sure on this one, but like a lot of good albums, but I had trouble getting an order for sure. Like I that was a little bit of a trouble for me, but my number 5, I decided to go with Kubal Khan's album, Exhibition of Prowess. Very good. I got into Kubal Khan not too long ago, so still pretty new to them, but this album blew me away. It was so good. When the singles were released, it was great. They have Theory of Mind on here, which is, I think a song that in this past year is like, blew them up for sure. Like that song made them a big deal. I think.
Yeah, I was getting that song on TikTok.
Yeah, which is crazy to me that was on.
That was where I
TikTok.
was getting it.
But yeah, such a good album. So good, so heavy, pretty quick, only 23 minutes long. But very good, very very good album. Definitely made my list. Was playing it a lot. All these albums I put on there because they were played so much for me throughout this year, and I kept revisiting them.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Definitely where I'm at with mine too. Yeah.
What do you have for number 4?
Number 4, I have the Black Keys Ohio Players. I was very pleased with this album. There's some really catchy songs in here, and it was very much an album that went back to their roots of why I liked them. Their last album was fucking terrible. I don't know if you ever heard me talk about that. You definitely have. Everybody has. Worst fucking album I've ever heard in my life. Okay. Like literally one of the worst. That is a terrible fucking album except for one song.
Okay.
This album though, I listened to a lot. This album was a lot I listened to. It was very hooky. Like it always drew me in. There was always one guitar lick that was like, damn, that's a good song. Or like, like, damn, they really nailed that. And so I think the Ohio Players is a great album.
Nice.
That front to back did a great job of bringing me back to the Black Keys. Granted, they did have some controversies. They were playing like a crypto show.
Yeah.
And they also canceled their entire like world tour because they weren't selling enough tickets. And then they fired their manager because of that.
Okay.
Because I guess their manager was like, "Oh, dude, you guys are like super popular. You guys can like sell out stadiums."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "We're not selling tickets." So.
But I think they end up making right on that.
Yeah, no, they were just like, we're refunding everybody's tickets for the whole tour, but like we're just only going to tour certain cities.
Okay. So still not great.
Yeah, it's not great, but it was just like it wasn't like a whole U.S. tour. It was just like Chicago, New York, L.A.
Okay.
I think probably one in like Atlanta.
Right. Somewhere else.
Yeah, somewhere south.
Somewhere south. Hold on, let me pull it up. My number 4, I decided to go with a band that I had never heard of until, of course, now I can't get this stupid fucking album pulled up. A band I had never heard of until this year. And seemingly, I don't know how, it seems like they just kind of blew up out of nowhere this year. Because this is their debut album, but they've been releasing singles since they formed as a band, which was only in 2019. But they are already almost up to like 100,000 followers on Instagram. Like all of these songs have over 1 million plays each, pretty much, besides a few of them. So I have no idea how this band blew up. I don't even know how I found them. I think they were just like on a playlist. And that's Throne and their album Excessive Guilt. Very good. Another hardcore album. By the way, Kubla Khan hardcore album. Forgot to mention that. Another hardcore album with a little bit of like, I guess, hip-hop-y-ish sounds in it throughout in a way, which I really like. I think that's...
I think you told me to listen to this album. I did not.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good and different, which I like. I think this could have been higher up on my list, but sometimes when it gets a little hip-hoppy, there's like a tiny sense of corniness to it. When it's like white people doing hip hop and
like Limp
hardcore.
Bizkit-y.
Yeah, it's a little Limp Bizkit-y, unless it's like a bit, which Limp Bizkit's kind of a bit, then I don't know. So that's why it wasn't as high on my list. So good though. I mean, this album's great. Every single song on it, for sure. Very heavy.
Rips.
Very, very good. Had to be on my list. For sure, that's my number 4. What do you got for number 3?
My number 3 was Prelude to Ecstasy by The Last Dinner Party. This was the Nothing Matters, Sinner, Feminine Urge band. Caesar on a TV Screen. This is actually a really good album.
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
I think they're very good. I think there's a part of me that like this was definitely a band that was fed through the Spotify like algorithm.
Okay.
100 million% fed through the Spotify algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever their promoting company is did a great job of paying the right people to get it on their algorithm.
Okay.
Because like it's great music. I'm just saying it didn't feel like it was very organic.
Right.
It was not organic at all.
It just came out.
It just came out of nowhere. It's said like their Wikipedia said they had been around since like 2019, but had no songs.
Yeah.
Like that's not how that works.
That's so weird.
Like that's not how that works
That's
at
the
all.
same thing with that throne band. It was like, where did this come from?
So like I'm a little skeptical of the longevity of this band.
Yeah.
We'll see. But they are very good. They're a very good outfit out of the UK that
Nice.
I'm gonna keep an eye on. I'm gonna see. Hopefully they get. I mean, literally, their guitarist and lead vocalist says that we weren't really expecting it at such a rate.
Okay.
Of the band's rise, the story of which is well known by now. I guess the story is after forming in 2021, the 5 pieces effervescent live shows garnered in "If You Know, You Know" kind of buzz, which went into overdrive when they released their stomping euphoric debut single "Nothing Matters" in April 2023. So maybe they were touring, doing just shows, but they never sat down and recorded an album and released it. So still, I think that's maybe why it's a little bit inorganic, because in the US they weren't touring. There was like a UK kind of like thing. So maybe that's why I felt inorganic to me.
Right.
I mean, it's like there was to go off on a tangent here for a brief second. There's this artist named Robbie Williams, I guess, that people were talking about.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him before. I've heard his music before. I didn't know who he was, and now he's just known as this monkey guy. Now,
Dude,
like that video is terrible.
It's so weird.
But people in the UK are like, you don't know about Robbie Williams. How have you not known about Robbie Williams was a song? And they keep bringing it up, and it's like, he's been around since like the 90s, or even earlier.
Yeah.
And anytime in the US anybody talks about Robbie Williams, we're thinking you're talking about Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Just flat out. It's like, if you're talking about Robbie Williams, then like it's a little like this is it in the same vein. It's like you guys have a different world over there in terms of like promotion and music.
Yeah.
Unless it's brought over to the US, we don't hear about it. We don't know about it.
It only overlaps sometimes.
Yeah, and like they have to tour over here to get known. So it's like
that Robbie Williams thing is weird.
Yeah, and people are like, "Oh, he just releasing a new album, and he's really good."
I guess.
I'm like, "Great."
He seems like a weirdo.
Yeah, he seems like a guy that your parents, like not your parents, but parents listen to.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, I've loved Robbie Williams since I was a very young lad."
Because he's safe.
Yeah, it's the most radio friendly shit I've ever heard.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd never heard him until that trailer.
I actually thought that the Candy song by Robbie Williams, you will 100% have heard it. It sounds like a Fits in the Tantrum song, so that's why I always thought like that's a Fits in the Tantrum song.
I don't even know who that is either.
That was a band I was obsessed with in middle school. So
okay,
but they're the out of my league, like ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay, I think I know that.
Yeah, I think we played a song of theirs in band one time. But anyway, Prelude to Ecstasy, very good album.
Nice. My number 3 is Robbie Williams. No, my number 3 went to a band I had been listening to kind of off and on randomly, again, as I was kind of in my hardcore, metalcore descent into madness back in like 2020-ish. And that's the band Dealer. And their album New Order of Mind. I was really, really obsessed with this album. Listened to it a whole bunch. It's very good. It's not all super heavy, which is why I liked it. It kind of bounced around a little bit, some a little bit slower songs, but most of them pretty heavy. Because Dealer, the reason I didn't really get super into them at first is because it was just like a bit much. At times it was like, okay, guys, it doesn't have to be like this bonkers, crazy
Did they have like the crazy
collage.
sound stuff in it, where it's just like it was really annoying to listen to for you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, kind of like some of that like overproduced stuff I kind of couldn't really
okay.
stand. But this album's like very good, feels more organic and more what it should be, a good metalcore album. Yeah, very good. Dealer's super good. I think they're another UK band. A lot of UK band. I think Throne they might have been Scottish. I think Dealer's UK. Yeah, good. Lots of good songs in there. Go check it out. That's my number 3. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is it's Justice. Justice, their album I listened to so much. I can't remember the name of it. I'm pretty sure it's Hyperdrama. That's right.
Okay.
I listened to this a lot.
You talked about this a lot.
It's a very, 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 very good album. Front to back, it's a great album. I actually like. I think I can tell you the track list in order.
Okay.
I know it very well. Especially I know what song comes next. So if I put it on shuffle, I'm like, that's not the right song.
Pull your mic down a little.
And it's anyway, it's a very good album. It's a very, very good album. I do enjoy this one. Definitely more like techno kind of dance music. So if you're not into that kind of thing, don't listen to it. But it's very good house music.
Nice.
Yeah.
My number 2 was almost my number 1 until something else snuck in. And that's this band Candy that I never heard of until this year. I think they had music prior to this. I don't even really know. This was a recommendation from, not a personal recommendation, but Brian Garris of Knocked Loose posted this on his story and like kept posting it, being like, I think this is my fucking favorite album this year. And I was like, let me give it a spin. And it's very different. It's, hard. It's again in the vein of hardcore metalcore, but it's like very weird. There's like some dance stuff in it. There's like just some kind of like noise stuff. It's super good. It's called It's Inside You, if I didn't mention that already. Did I mention the Dealer album name? I think I did. Yeah, it's a banger. It's so good. It's so weird. Hypercore is a great song. It's Inside You. It's so good. Go give it a spin if you want to just hear some weird music. That's still good because again, it can't just be all weird. That's
It
kind
can't
of
be all weird.
It can't be all weird. Gavin, what is your number 1 album of the year of 2024?
My number 1 album is Charm by Claro. I think that was
Whoa.
it's a very, 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 very good album. I listened to that one. I think everything about it is man, there's so many. Like I said, there was a lot of very good albums that came out this year, but this album was also one that I listened to front to back every time I listened to it.
Okay.
Everything about this album was fantastic. The mixing, the sounds, the chords, the progression, the lyrics. While I may not relate to the best,
Sure.
but I think it's still a very, very, very well produced album.
I still need to.
It's kind of like a soft boy album for me, and I think it's more like a bedroom pop, but very, very good album. I think with the hearing her progression in music to this was probably the most indie sounding.
Okay.
She'd had some pretty popular songs that I heard on TikTok a million times over.
Sure.
But this one is very I literally heard Sexy to Someone at Good Sense like 2 months ago.
Wow.
So I was like, what the fuck?
Good Sense. The hell were you doing there?
That's a favorite sandwich shop of mine.
Gosh, we used to get that all the time as a kid, and I hated it.
Oh, I love it now. I hated it whenever I was a kid, but now it's like I need more of this. But yeah, no, like literally like everything about this album, like the chords just hit so well. The piano sounds so old. Like it's not a Casio.
Yeah.
Like it is like the piano sounds like it is like a wall piano that's slightly out of tune.
I like that.
It's really good.
I gotta listen to it. Since it's your number 1, I sure will.
It's very good, very, very good. I enjoy this, and I have like 10 honorable mentions because I do too. Such a great like year for music.
I do too. My number 1, Gavin, is a band I had never heard of until this. Actually, that's a lie. I had heard of them, never listened to them until this year. And it seems like this album, I feel like had to catapult them into a higher popularity. Because again, I had never heard of them until this year, or listened to them until this year. And that's One Step Closer with their album, All You Embrace. One Step Closer is like kind of a hardcore band. They're called like melodic hardcore. You could even maybe go as far as to say post-hardcore. I probably wouldn't go that far. I would almost even say more pop punk than anything.
Really? Okay.
Because it's weird, because like the front half of the album feels like a hardcore album that's a little bit more sad or blue or whatever. And then the back half is more like punk rock. There's some slow songs. There's some sad songs. And really, it's kind of like a genre that I don't get into anymore. Like that was kind of like a genre I listened to a lot in my teenage years, like with like Neck Deep and stuff like that, really, pop punk stuff. But something about this album just really hit in a spot that I liked. And I liked that it wasn't all hardcore. It had slower stuff, and the slow songs were really good. And it just hit on a level I wasn't expecting. But yeah, One Step Closer, All You Embrace. Some of my favorite songs, The Gate, Color You is great, Your Hazel Tree, Giant's Despair. It's all bangers. Again, like you mentioned, every single album I'm recommending is like, I listen to them front to back every time. It's not like I don't pick a song. It's like front to back. That was like what made my list, was because front to back, I loved every song with no skips.
Right. That's where I went with it too.
Yeah. And this album, just for sure. Like whenever I like listened to Candy first, and I was like, ooh, that might be my number one. And then this one came on, and I was like, yeah, this
Probably
is for
this one.
sure number
Yeah.
one. Very good though. Very pretty similar, very similar to Turnstile, but like if Turnstile was more depressing.
Okay.
Like, but very, very similar to Turnstile for sure. And even like their kind of vibe, I was looking through their Instagram.
Bubblegum hardcore.
Yeah, bubblegum hardcore. I was looking at their Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, these guys are like, they kind of want to be Turnstile in a way. But they've been around for a while, so you know they could have been around when Turnstile was on the come up. I mean, 2019, so maybe not quite as long, but yeah, a great year for music, like you said. I would love to hear some of your honorable mentions. And I can go over some of mine.
I can give you the reason why they were honorable mentions. For these, but Future Islands, The People Who Aren't There Anymore, is an honorable mention. That came out right at the beginning of the year, and again, most of the honorable mentions, about half the album's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And the second half is just terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad, but it's just like, it's not terrible, but it's just hard to listen to when the front of the album is so much better.
Yeah.
Like the first like 4 tracks on Future Islands album is fantastic. Second half, the most forgettable music I've ever heard. The mastering is great. It's probably the best album they have mastered.
Yeah.
You can tell individual instruments, and it's not just one big conglomeration of sound, which was the case on some other of their older albums for some reason. Even though it was like, you know, it wasn't like they were made in the 90s or anything like that. I don't know what happened during those albums, but anyway, the second half of the album, not there. I mean, Idols, they had some good songs on there on their new album.
Yeah.
I was very obsessed with Gift Horse, and there was another song on there, but that's an honorable mention. I'm not really that impressed with some of their other stuff. Same thing with Yard Act. They had a couple really good songs I was totally hooked on. They had 2 singles. It's like all their singles. Idols had 2 singles. Yard Act had 2 singles. Very good. They were both really great. But the rest of the album for both of them is too British, not my thing, and almost spoken word at times. And I'm like, this is stupid.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
The Idols one was horrible.
Yeah.
Like, that one was like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like what? That's very. I feel like it's a very UK thing for some reason. They let all the accents go all over the place, and they're talking at this monotone voice for so long, and then they just have this, you know, drumming beat and guitar sounds going in the background.
Yeah.
They do that for
that's
like
music.
and it's the longest songs on the fucking album,
Yeah.
and it pisses me off.
Yep.
Whoever is producing those albums, please have them make something
Yeah.
different. Oh my god. Like, I understand that there's an emotional connection to doing stuff like that. However, for an American audience, does not make any fucking lick of sense.
I wonder if
they're
the
talking.
British audience even likes it.
Yeah, I'm curious, because it's almost Smithy type of like,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know what they're saying.
When they're just talking.
Yeah. So for the summertime. Yeah, there's a couple of songs that are so bad. Didn't listen to MGMT's new album, Kings of Leon's new album, St. Vincent's new album. I love St. Vincent, but I didn't listen to it. Starfucker put out an album. I think Boyo had a new album that I liked, but I didn't really listen to maybe all the way through or a couple times. Tyler, the Creator, honorable mention, very good album front to back, but I didn't listen to it nearly enough. And I think it's going to be put on too many lists for me to be like, I'm just missing out on this one.
I'll second that honorable mention.
Fontaine's DC, they had 3 singles on this album, and the rest pretty forgettable. I did skip those songs. I think Modern World, Favorite, and Starburster are like the 3 things, the 3 singles on that album. The Dare, again, first half of the album, fantastic, fucking awesome, club beat, like dancing type of like insanity. Then the second half is like, I don't know where it went. I don't know what happened. The magic completely left the studio in the second half. They just decided to just put shit out.
Yeah.
And then also the other one that I also wanted to listen to was Jordy Greep, I think his name is.
Yeah, from Black Midi.
From Black Midi. Yeah. That album is, I've heard, very good. I just never listened to it. I listened to a couple of the like people were doing like a TikTok bit where it's like the beginning of the album was like but and then they would like make a dance whenever it happened and then stop whenever it would stop.
Okay.
But it was like after that I was like, I don't know what this song is. Hideo Kojima posted a screenshot of him listening to the album. The guy who does I think it was Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Of among other things.
Right.
And then Chat Pile's album, honorable mention.
Same.
I think
Same
they
here.
did a fantastic job with this album. Looks like they might be releasing a couple new albums next year. So I'm very interested to see what that is. And they say it's really good.
Okay.
I think it just didn't fit into my year enough. And I really had to be in a mood to listen to it. So
yeah, I was the same way. I liked it, but I didn't. It wasn't enough. It was like could have been on my list, but not quite.
Yeah.
For me, is that all your honorable?
Those are all my
mentions?
honorable mentions. I had a lot.
I do too. I'll go through them fast though. First of all, I really wanted to get a rap or hip hop album on my list. Unfortunately, just nothing that I was like. I had to be honest, and none of them were just enough for me to want to put on my list. You know, like you said,
even
Tyler.
Kendrick.
Not even Kendrick. Tyler's was very good. Kendrick's was better. I think probably one of the best of the bunch. But again, just a few too many skips. The one I almost put on my list was Benny the Butcher's Everybody Can't Go. Very, very good album. But again, a few skips in there. But I think if I was like, if we had to nominate our favorite song of the year, I would say probably Big Dog, Benny the Butcher, and Lil Wayne. I don't even like Lil Wayne. That I think was my song of the year. That song was so good. It's on that album. Really good. Boundaries released a good album. Another hardcore band. Wrist Meets Razor. Story So Far. That's kind of like a more pop punky thing that almost made the list. Very good. I just lost my place. Yeah, Chapile, like you said. This band Ocean Grove released this album called Odd World. Very good, very like new metal, not like new, but new like as in like Korn. Yeah. That was really good. A little corny and not the band corny, the other kind of corny. I still really like that though. Speed, another great band I got to see live, released their I wanted to say their first album, but I don't know if that's true. That was really good. See You Space Cowboy, good album. One I wanted to touch on here for a second was Knocked Loose. They released a new album this year, and I kind of dumped on it. And I still agree with everything I said, but I want to make sure I hammer it home that I did like the album, but it just wasn't different enough, and it was too short for having been years since they released new music.
Right.
That I was just very disappointed in what they gave out. But
Very much
everybody,
the same.
yeah, everybody lost their fucking mind about it, and it, got them on Jimmy Kimmel. So
Yeah. Hey.
what do I know? I guess. But I wanted to shout it out because it is good. I do like it. Fit for an Autopsy and Show Me the Body released like a collaborative album that was good, but a lot of skips, not very re-listenable. Fun concept. It just kind of is just more of like a, thing for them to do. Great songs on it though, just not enough to get on the list.
Yeah.
That's it though. That's 2024 wrapped up.
I also didn't listen to Brat. I didn't listen to Sabrina Carpenter. I didn't listen to Beyonce's new album, country album. I didn't listen to Post Malone's country album.
Jelly Roll.
Didn't Riz Up Jelly Roll. The list goes on. But if I could nominate a song, it would probably be Starburster by Fontaines.
Yeah.
Like 100%. I think
your-
that was like my song of the year. I think
Did you see that?
What?
Is that what you're laughing at?
No.
Okay.
I'm laughing at no. I was laughing at I think it was like far and away my like top song. Like I think I blew the other listening times out of the water.
Okay.
But yeah.
Cool, man. Oh,
Oh.
and you know what that means? Another year has passed us by. By the time you guys are hearing this, it's the new year as well, which is crazy.
Yeah. I have to do so much before that.
Do you? Before the new year?
Yeah.
I would ask, but it's probably not stuff you want to share.
It's applying.
We didn't really catch up or anything on the show.
We got plenty of time.
We got plenty of time to do that.
What do they care about?
That's true. They don't give two shits about it. But we got another episode to record. That's going to be a very fun one. You guys will see in just a matter of a few days.
Yeah.
Because you're hearing this on Friday, you'll hear that episode on Monday. It's definitely one you'll want to watch. That'll be very fun. But it was a great year. I'm very, very much looking forward to next year.
Yeah.
Lots of big things coming. You're nearing the end of school.
About time.
Almost, right?
May.
And that's it?
Yep.
But then,
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. There's a little more to it. But, yeah, it's exciting. Anything you would like to say before we get out of here?
No, I don't think so.
All right, folks.
Thank you for listening for us through this whole year.
Yeah.
Hopefully you add some people to recommend us to.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes we can curse like sailors on here, but
certainly.
Yeah, but
And hopefully we will hoping to get more guests on. It's just being busy boys, it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah.
But eventually
a lot of coordination.
Yes.
A lot of coordination.
But yeah, we'll see you in the new year with more
See you next year.
Fun toys.